Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Teacher on your Online Media, and today I wish to welcome you to our today's concern. And I wish to present to you the analysis of the short story, Hawa the Bus Driver. The short story was written by the author Richard S. Mabala. The story was published by Ben and Company Limited. The story was set in Dar es Salaam. The year of publication is 1988. Introduction. The story is all about a strong, tall, tough, and courageous but a kind-hearted woman called Hawa. Hawa is a bus driver in Dar es Salaam. Men didn't like a woman being a bus driver. They believed that she was destroying African tradition. She overcomes all the challenges that face her, a situation that makes all the men to completely accept her. She becomes the most famous bus driver in Dar es Salaam. Suleiman, Hawa's husband, feels jealous because his wife becomes so famous than him. He decides to stop her from working as a bus driver. Hawa obeys her husband, but before submitting the letter of resignation, her fellow drivers go to request and convince Selemani to allow his wife to carry on with her job. He finally agrees and lets his wife to go on with her job, and they live a happy life. Form analysis. The first section, as far as form analysis is concerned, is plot. Dear listeners, the plot or the arrangement of events in this story is largely a straightforward narration, employing chronological plot from the beginning, when Hawa was despised and laughed by the men drivers, up to the end when she gained a fame and loved by all people because of her brave actions. Listeners, welcome to chapter summary. Chapter 1. Hawa the bus driver. This is the title that guides us regarding chapter 1. This chapter introduces us to Hawa Ibrahim. The writer depicts Hawa as the tall, strong, and tough woman who weighs 82 kilos. Hawa is a bus driver. Some men don't like the idea of a woman being a bus driver. Hawa is married to Suleiman, who is a machine operator at Urafiki textile mill. They have 2 children who are Hassan and Saada. One day, when Hawa was at Ubungo, one of the buses started moving while the driver was outside smoking. Many people were worried. Hawa jumped quickly into the bus and helped to stop it. People started congratulating her, but she got out of the bus and went away. Chapter 2. Hawa's day. How does Hawa spend her day? Well, Hawa lives in Manzese in Dar es Salaam. She lives in a rent house with her family. She wakes up early in the morning, cooks vitumbua, and then wakes up the whole family for breakfast. Having finished their breakfast, she and her husband leave for a job. They leave for job while the children leave for school. Hawa sells her delicious vitumbua before job. Many people like Hawa's vitumbua. Chapter 3. Hawa and the Drunkard. In this chapter, one day, when Hawa was in the evening shift, one of the drunkard passengers holding a knife attacked Hawa, claiming that he wanted to drive a bus and that women can't drive a bus. Hawa was wearing her boots. She kicked the drunkard 3 times on the leg and he fell down. Conductor Meshach and the other passengers seized him and he was taken to the police station. Chapter 4. Hawa and the Thieves. Hawa was in the evening shift again. Some thieves who entered the bus as passengers abducted the bus and then forced her to drive out of the route. They wanted her to drive to Mbezi Forest, outside the town. She obeyed and started driving while thinking on what to do to rescue the passengers from robbery. She looked via the driving mirror and one of the passengers in blue overall winked her. Hawa stopped the bus. The bus was stopped suddenly. The thieves were easily seized and they were taken to the police station. People congratulated her again. Chapter 5. The Accident. In this chapter, the writer introduces us to the bus named Changu ni Changu Chota Chako Kwingine. And this bus knocks down a boy and it did not stop. The boy was badly injured. Hawa stopped her bus to help the injured boy. Some passengers blamed her, claiming that they were late for work, but Hawa remained consistent that she would help the boy. If they think that they were late, it would be better that they take another bus. Instead, they helped her to take the boy to the police station and later on to the hospital. The inspector blamed Hawa for being late. In that evening, she went back to the hospital and found the boy was improving. Chapter 6 and the last chapter of this short story has the title Selemani is Jealous. In this chapter, Hawa becomes very famous in Dar es Salaam in such a way that everyone knows her. She becomes famous even than her husband Selemani. Selemani becomes jealous because her wife is now famous than him. His friends at work also advise him to stop her from working because it is not good for a woman to be famous than her husband. He calls his wife and tells her to write the letter of resignation. She obeys her husband's order, but her fellow drivers, led by Mzee Athman, help her by talking to her husband. They request him to change his mind, and at the end of the discussion, he agrees to let his wife continue with her job. At that evening, Seleman called his wife and apologized for making decisions without asking for her opinions. The story ended happily. Thank you for listening to me. And the coming session will be the further analysis of this short story and the category of form. Have a nice moment. Bye.